Hey, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. You're listening to the longest running superhero role playing game on Earth. I'm your host, the Game Master, and today we're talking about the Transformers. But before we get into that, smash that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and leave us a comment. That helps us out with the YouTube algorithm, but also we love hearing from you guys. We've got an awesome community here, and that's thanks to you. So thank you so much for being here. So, all that said, let's dive in. The prologue to today's story picks up exactly where the last game left off. Earth's moon was revealed to not be Earth's moon, it was the Planet Buster, a space station created by an alien race called the Vok. It is rusty and it is millions of years old. And like the Death Star, it was designed to destroy an entire world. So Megatron and Galvatron teamed up and went there to do just that. And like we said last game, we ran an adventure back in the day that was set in the 1980s, and it was loosely based on the Transformers comic books, where the original Megatron met his counterpart from the future, who goes by the name Galvatron. It is also worth noting that when we ran our version of an old G1 episode called The Ultimate Doom, Megatron used space bridge technology to summon the planet Cybertron to Earth. When Cybertron was that close to the Earth, it created earthquakes, tidal waves, etc. And the Decepticons harnessed that energy. But then the Autobots used that power to move Cybertron away from the Earth. Then, when we ran our version of an episode called Rebirth, Galvatron tried to make Earth's sun go nova, and it was Spike Witwicky who caused the planet Cybertron to absorb that excess solar energy, bringing about the second golden age of Cybertron, and finally revitalizing the Autobots' nearly dead planet. Point being that once again we established that Cybertron was somewhere very close to Earth and had the ability to move around through the solar system at will. Which brings us to the main plot of today's game session. Optimus Prime and Windblade are on Cybertron. They make their way to Vector Sigma, an incredibly ancient computer that runs Cybertron and gives life to new Transformers. Alpha Trion rebuilt a robot named Orion Pax into Optimus Prime. So Alpha Trion is in many ways like a father figure to Optimus. And Alpha Trion's mind is inside of Vector Sigma, allowing Optimus to communicate with the supercomputer. Windblade has a unique ability to communicate with giant transformers, so she tries to speak with Primus and ask Primus for help. So between the two of them, they make Cybertron move again, and this time they position it between Earth and the Planet Buster moon weapon. When Cybertron gets close to Earth again, as before, there are massive earthquakes. And when people look up into the sky, Cybertron blots out the sun, causing the blackest eclipse anyone has ever seen. There are also massive atmospheric disturbances, terrible winds, just like the ones we saw in the episode The Ultimate Doom from the original Transformers cartoon. The earthquakes are so bad that Earth's plates actually shift slightly, creating a small amount of continental drift. Leaders of nations and high ranking military personnel fall back into emergency underground bunkers to ensure what they refer to as continuity of government. Optimus Prime knows that Megatron won't dare fire the Vok Planet Buster because Megatron wants to rule Cybertron, not destroy it. But Optimus underestimates how insane and damaged Galvatron is. Galvatron says that if he can't have Cybertron, nobody can, so he sets the Vok Planet Buster to self-destruct. Then he gets into Cyclonus and leaves. Optimus Prime radios Hot Rod, leader of the Target Master Autobots. He tells them that Galvatron is trying to escape, and he asks Hot Rod to round him up. Hot Rod says he's on it. So 3 Titans are sent to intercept Galvatron, and they are Brave Maximus, Fortress Maximus, and Grand Maximus. It's worth noting that Cobra Commander recently hijacked Cerebros, who transforms into the head of Fortress Maximus. So right now, if they want Fortress Maximus to transform into robot mode, they will be forced to use the head of either Brave Maximus or Grand Maximus instead. Galvatron gets to Scorponok, who is the evil counterpart to Fortress Maximus, and to Galvatron's dismay, Scorponok turns on Galvatron. The head of Scorponok is Zarek, and Zarek is an organic being from the planet Nebulos. And Galvatron is racist against all organic life forms. So this has been a long time coming. Meanwhile, Optimus Prime catches up to Megatron, so we roll initiative. We use the old tech specs from the back of the boxes that the Transformers came in back in the 1980s. They give Optimus Prime a speed of 8, which we in our game translate as a dexterity of 8 in DC Heroes. Conversely, Megatron has a speed of 4, so Optimus Prime needs to roll a 7 or better on 2d10. He rolls a 12, so he hits. On the tech specs, Optimus Prime has strength of 10, which we double. So for us, we call that a strength of 20 in DC Heroes. Megatron has an endurance of 8, which we also double. So in DC Heroes, Megatron rather has a body of 16 APs. So on round 1, Optimus Prime does 6 points of damage, taking Megatron down to a body of 10. On Megatron's turn, he needs a 15 or better to hit Prime, but he only rolls a 13, so he misses. So it's Prime's turn again. He hits for another 6 points of damage, so Megatron now has 4 hit points left. Megatron then goes, rolling an 18, which is 1 column shift more than what he needed to hit. Megatron's tech specs give him a strength of 10, so in DC Heroes, we treat that as a strength of 20. Optimus Prime has an endurance of 10 on the tech specs, so in DC Heroes, that's a body of 20. So a 20 versus a 20 would normally be 4 points of damage, but since Megatron got a column shift, that becomes 6 points of damage. Finally, Optimus Prime goes again, doing another 6 damage, and Megatron is knocked out. Ultra Magnus is quick to slap stasis cuffs on Megatron, and Magnus throws Megatron into the Autobot's brig. Meanwhile, Windblade convinces Primus to transform. So the first time ever in our role-playing game, the home world of the Transformers turns into a gigantic planet-sized robot. And that's the art I was using for this episode so that you guys would have an idea of what that might look like. The Vok Planet Buster is about to explode, so Primus pushes it away from the Earth. Once it is a safe distance away, Primus falls back and the Planet Buster explodes. Several big pieces of what used to be Earth's moon are headed for Earth. Primus stops the worst of it, but some of that shrapnel still falls. And at that scale, it's like having a mountain of fire falling towards the Earth. Luckily, Earth K is teeming with superheroes. So Superman and others like him do their best to catch these huge pieces of metal. And even with all the heroes involved here, some of it still gets through. A flaming mountain of sorts does splash down in the center of the ocean, causing tidal waves, etc. More flaming debris rains down, causing wildfires, forest fires, etc. And the bigger problem now is that Earth has no moon. So Primus moves to the right distance away from the Earth, then transforms back into his golden metal planet mode again. And this is in the Goldilocks zone. We're given his size and what he's made out of, etc. Um, the gravity works out and things begin to normalize, which brings us to the epilogue. Scorponok lands on Cybertron. He fought Galvatron and won. So Galvatron is now placed in stasis cuffs and turned over to Ultra Magnus. Zarek offers to execute Galvatron for them, but Ultra Magnus says the Autobots have laws, and both Megatron and Galvatron will have to stand trial for their various war crimes. Scorponok says that with Megatron and Galvatron out of the way, that makes him supreme leader of the Decepticons. Hot Rod and several other Autobots wonder if Scorponok is going to attack, but instead, he surrenders. And after millions of years, the Cybertronian Civil War finally ends. Optimus Prime and Zarek sign the appropriate documents, and on Cybertron, they detonate something akin to fireworks. Optimus allows everyone to celebrate for a day. Then, after that's over, the Autobots get to work fixing what went wrong on Earth. So the various construction-oriented Autobots, like Erector, Grapple, Hauler, Quick Mix, and Wide Load, get to work tending to buildings that the earthquakes leveled. But with the war over, they're joined by the Constructicons. Likewise, Shockwave is permitted to put his scientific skills to good use in the Cybertronian version of Operation Paperclip. So long as guys like Ultra Magnus and Prowl kind of keep an eye on him. Starscream is alive. In our game, Unicron had brought him back to life, and in return, Starscream gave Unicron new eyes by stealing one from Metroplex and another eye from Trypticon. Anyways, Starscream wanted to be the leader of all the Decepticons, and he is furious that Zarek, who, as a friendly reminder, is an organic life form. He's not even a Cybertronian, just had the entire Decepticon army give up, right? So Starscream takes to the radio waves with the help of Soundwave, and Starscream screams and rants about how the Decepticons have been screwed over by the terms of the surrender. And he tries to gather followers loyal to his cause. Starscream wants all the Decepticons to rise up and overthrow the Autobots. He also wants to, of course, become the supreme leader of the resistance against what he calls fascist Autobot oppressors. And he does start to develop a following, but that's a story for another day. We liked this one. We hope you enjoyed hearing about it. If so, as always, smash like, make sure you're subscribed, and leave a comment. And from all of us here at the longest running superhero role playing game on earth, we hope you have a good one, and we'll see you in the next adventure. Bye.